In 1811, famed explorer David Thompson navigated and mapped the entire length of the Columbia River. A feat that would forever change the history of Canada and North America as a whole. The Columbia River is 2,000 kilometers long, and it winds its way from its humble beginnings in Canal Flats, British Columbia, all the way to the mighty Pacific Ocean in Astoria, Oregon. In the 200 plus years since David Thompson's expedition, the Columbia River has changed substantially. Once a ferocious, free-flowing river, the Columbia River has since been tamed, becoming one of the most dammed river systems in the world. And that leads me to where I am today, Revelstoke Lake. This 130-kilometer-long reservoir sits between two of the three largest dams in British Columbia, the Mica Dam to the north and the Revelstoke Dam to the south. Together, these dams can power upwards of 1.5 million homes. And they also provide me, Sarge Inc., with a home for the next week. Come along with me as I travel solo in my canoe 130 kilometers dam to dam as I slice out my own little piece of Columbia River glory in the footsteps of David Thompson. And just like that, I am totally by myself. I am in Mica Creek in the mountains, about 130k outside of Revelstoke, and that is where I'm headed. Okay, we are officially on the water. Bad way to start. I cut my finger on the drone. With that being said, we have started. So hopefully nothing but up from here. This is a pretty unreal setting. The Mica Creek Dam is just up there. I kind of wanted to get a little closer to it, but realistically, Mica Creek itself, there's a boat launch. I don't even know if I can get that close to the dam, so I don't want to break any rules. So we are starting here. I think it's supposed to be 130-ish K to Revelstoke. I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but I guess you expect the unexpected. I'm prepared for 10 days, but I'm hoping to get done in 6. We have a weather window of like 5.5 good days with no rain in the forecast. So ideally I'll be damn close by the time rain does come, if it comes. So that's the plan, but not much to say other than just to paddle. Whew. Unreal. It sure feels good to get underway. I had a lot of anxiety ahead of this trip, due in part because it's my longest canoe trip ever. I'm totally alone, and I didn't really know what to expect. All my long canoe trips before this have been well laid out trips in provincial parks. This one is more of a, I know where I'm starting and I know where I'm ending, but everything else in between is kind of unknown. Before I get too far, I want to talk about where I'm starting. The dock I launched at is directly across from the BC Hydro Camp that has been erected at the old Mica town site. This area exists almost exclusively to service the Mica Dam, which is just a few kilometers upstream. Built in 1973, the Mica Dam is the biggest dam in BC and the third largest in Canada. The Mica Dam holds back Canoe Lake, the first major reservoir on the Columbia River. One that frankly dwarfs this one. As the water flows from Canoe Lake through the Mica Dam, the powerhouse produces 2,800 megawatts of electricity and then releases into Revelstoke Lake, where I am now. Revelstoke Lake itself is held up by the Revelstoke Dam, which is actually the third largest dam in BC and the 7th in Canada. We can talk more about that one as we get closer. But as you can tell, this is quite a powerful place. Looks like some sort of cable ferry. And actually you can see, I don't know if you'll see, but there's a road on the other side. I don't know if that's a main road or somebody's private ferry or a BC Hydro type thing, who knows? But we passed it. Okay, so I've pulled up on this little beach here, as you can see, and I am just going to have a quick break here. I am almost 10K in, which is, I think I'm doing fairly decent, nothing crazy, but I feel pretty good about it. Obviously I have a long way to go today. I have to do at least 20 every day, but realistically I'm probably going to try to go further, depending on the camping situation, the wind situation, and all that jazz. But anyway, so I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna have a snack. I might add a little bit more sunscreen on because I plan on putting in some K after this. And yeah, have a snack, make sure my water situation is good, and then we're gonna go on. I wouldn't mind a swim, but honestly, I think I might just put my feet in the water for a bit. But yeah, that's that. Fully snacked up, I head back out to open water to put in some distance. At this point, I'm really hitting my stride, and I'm starting to feel comfortable in my new surroundings, which are absolutely spectacular. Okay, big update here. I made it across this big old gap here, and now I'm on the shores of what looks to be like a pretty major point on my map. I have a Backroads map book that I'm sort of using to go by. That and Google Maps, but on my map book, it is marked with a picnic table. And if I were to carry the canoe up this edge, which is doable, not ideal, but doable, I think it's like a nice flat plateau. Maybe with road access too, but I'm not really sure. I am not going to get out. I'm hidden here in the shade, and I have reapplied sunscreen, got some water, just frankly just cooled down. I'm going to put a towel over my legs because they're feeling like they're starting to burn, but I've gone 20.65 kilometers as per Strava, which I think is half decent, but not as far as I would like to go. The weather is very hot. It has to be above 30 degrees, so it's quite hot. But other than that, the weather is mint. Conditions are great. It is 2 p.m. and I half expect an afternoon wind to pop up. So now between 2 and 4 is probably what I would sort of estimate. So in an ideal world, I would be starting to get off the lakes pretty dang quickly. But anyways, my Backroads map book, further down, there looks like a bend point thingy. Hard to explain, doesn't really matter. we're going to go down there. That is my new goal. It has a picnic table marked just the same as this spot, so I think it'll be something. But anyways, I'm taking a quick breather, having another snack, and that's the goal. I'm going to go find that spot, reassess, but I think possibly, likely, that's going to be my campsite for the night. But either way, I could say I feel way better having a little break here in the shade. But this place is spectacular. So with that being said, have a quick snack, and then I'm going to get paddling. Okay, let's rock. I'll leave that on the go. Pop off ashore here. As I push on, I pass more of the ever-present driftwood and some of these big old stumps. A constant reminder that this area has been shaped by the hand of man. A fact that's further hammered home seeing all the logging scars on the mountainsides. And the power lines running down the east side that never seem that far away. But hey, it's not like this place isn't beautiful. So, I've gone 27K. I am pretty beat. I'm hot. I'm tired. I saw a spot that I kind of wanted to camp at, but then there was a lady there in an RV. I think there was a couple people there in an RV, and it's like, I don't really want to camp with an RV. So I thought I'd push on, but I have yet to find anywhere good to camp. I found a couple spots, like literally a couple spots that are like acceptable. Ones that I just passed now, I would consider acceptable, but they're not good enough. So I think I'm going to keep going. I am tired, but the weather is good. I got multiple hours of daylight. So I think the only real option is to push on, and I'll find something as good, but hopefully better. But I am pretty beat. It is hot. I would have rather had a swim. I'd rather be stopped. But doing something like this, kind of just exploring, kind of winging it, you just got to do what you got to do. So what we got to do is go back to paddling. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Hello. Am I close to Revelstoke? Am I close to Revelstoke yet? Is this your boat launch?
Yeah.
Can I camp on it?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. I talked to the guy in the boat. There's some sort of outfitter lodge over there that I guess he runs or works at or is visiting, but he didn't want to cross to the little boat launchy area. There's a couple cars parked, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna stay there. But then he told me there's a spot just down here that I can sort of see, so that's the plan. It's not that far, probably 20 minutes, half hour, but I am beat. I'm probably pushing damn near 35K when I get there. Glad to be done, but whatever. It's a beautiful day to be out paddling. Weather's, man, it's hot, beautiful area, stunning views, honestly. But yeah, it's the final push for campsite number 1. So that's where I'm headed now. So before I came across that guy in the boat, mentally, I was really struggling. I was hot, tired, and concerned I was never going to find a place to pull out. I was ready to stop at literally anywhere I could for the night, which would have been a steep and ugly boat launch if that guy hadn't told me about this spot. A spot I never would have found on my own, and a spot that was absolutely perfect. Not all heroes wear capes.
Oh man. That was 34K. That was a hard one today, I'll be honest with you. That hurt. I have gone way further than I intended to go, but with that being said, this is pretty good because now the rest of the pacing is going to be pretty easy. I'm not worried at all. Covered a lot of ground. I was pretty fresh coming in today, and I had recently had that four-day Clearwater Azure Lake trip, so I feel like, I mean, those 4 days put me into canoeing shape, so that's fine. I think I'll feel good tomorrow, but I don't have that much distance to cover, so all things considered, it's a pretty good day. I'm gonna set up camp. This place isn't much, but at the same time, it's absolutely beautiful. Man, what a day. What a day. So, I guess I should show you what we're working with here. Boat is already unloaded. I use my Zoleo to check in with my sister. Highly recommend the Zoleo. Obviously not an ad or anything, but being able to message and check in with people when you're out here solo it makes everyone feel way better. And it's just way safer. I can message anyone at any time, call for an SOS. Highly recommend. Boat is unloaded, all my stuff is here. Except for my backpack. This is where I'm gonna put my tent. There's a decent flat spot. The sun is going down the mountain fairly quickly, I think. It's already it's just about 5:30. So just by judging by the trees and how much, I think I'm gonna have an hour before that goes down over there. It should be light later, but either way, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna put up my tent right away, get all situated, take a break, whatever. I'm exhausted. That was a long day. So yeah, this is camp. I'm just out here eating a Peak Refuel beef pasta marinara. I bought a ton of these for my trip. I actually bought 29 of these freeze-dried meals. And the Peak Refuel pasta marinara is probably the most common one. And I also got some Ready Wise lasagna ones, which are almost the same. But anyway, so I'm just gonna eat this thing, admire the view. I'm in a lot better mood now that camp is set. The sun has set. I'm like the perfect temperature right now. I feel good, honestly. That was a good day out there. Pretty good. I definitely worked up a heck of an appetite today. But anyways, I'm just gonna chill the night away, put on a podcast. Hope no bears or anything comes. But yeah, that was a good day.
As day breaks on day 2, I enjoy my last few moments at my wonderful home for the night. But soon, it's time to take off and get this day started proper. We have another big day ahead of us, but I guess every day is a big day when you're traversing a 130 kilometer long lake. The weather is again absolutely stunning, and so is the setting, making for some fantastic canoeing and an easy way to get motivated in the morning.
Okay, we officially have started day number 2. It is 8:30. Definitely not the quickest getaway this morning, but it's totally fine. We are on the water now. We are headed that way towards Revelstoke. I got a campsite in mind at Downey Point. So this river is supposed to narrow, I believe. I do not know if that is going to lead to some current, but hopefully nothing bad, if anything at all. But a little bit of current would be nice to help us along. But with that being said, nothing to do but to paddle. Day 2 officially in the works.
I start out this day paddling on the western shore. This shore is the boundary line of the Monashee Mountains. The Columbia River being the dividing line between the Monashee Mountains in the west and the Selkirks in the east, leaving me right smack in the middle of a mountain paradise. One that is only going to get better the further I paddle. That I can promise you.
1, 2, 3, I've officially lost count interest, faith, never mind the boring. Said I'm too sick, I dysfunction in pre-context mixed with emotions and guess I won't find out where I should be by now. Kids like you never learn the lesson, I know. Says a man who can't keep up with nothing, don't know what he's on about. 1, 2, 3, I've officially lost down interest, faith, never mind the boring back. Said I'm too sick, I dysfunction in fast, free context mixed with emotions and again.
Okay, how about good? Onwards.
So after that cool down swim, I get right back to paddling. Today is noticeably hotter than it was yesterday, so I've put in a concerted effort to stay cooler and be better hydrated than I was. This led me to taking more breaks and having more time to take in the sights.
Okay, I am just on a little, whatever this is. I guess it's an access road. There's a whole bunch of these. This is where I thought I was going to camp at one of these. And they all have, a lot of them have these cable cars or cable ferries. Some don't, but they probably used to have cable ferries. But I think that's how they would have got all the equipment over to log the other side. It's all on these ferries. So pretty interesting, but yeah, maybe it's a negative, but I think actually some of the logging where it's been cut, I don't know, where it's been regrown compared to the other stuff, it just kind of all blends together, and it is kind of neat, you know, but obviously there's negatives with logging. But pretty cool spot, pretty boat, private property, no trespassing. I'm not gonna bother, but I'm just checking it out from here.
Some might view a cable car like this as a blight on nature. And sure, these cable cars and the logging it enables is not ideal, but it's reality. Those who live in wood houses should not throw stones. I think things like this are a fascinating look at the complicated relationship of man and nature. Sure, the logged mountainsides are not the same pristine mountainsides David Thompson saw in 1811. The mountainsides have been scarred, and they're all in different stages of regrowth. That's life. It won't be perfect. You too might get cut down and need to regrow. The thought of a pristine wilderness is ideal, but that's not what this trip is about. Bookended by the two dams, flooded and logged, this valley has forever changed. Change is the only thing that's guaranteed in life. That and the unrelenting passage of time. Onwards.
Okay, situation. I'm done for the day. I really wanted to push further down. I wanted to get all the way to the downy arm of Revelstoke Lake. But frankly, I think it's unrealistic. I was just looking at my map, and I think I have at least 10K to go, if not more. And I did 34K yesterday, and I'm at 24 today. And I am pretty spent. And this is a very nice, perfect spot for me to camp. I think it comes down from the road. Got this little spot right here. There's fire pits over here, fire bands, so I can't use fire pits, but I'm gonna pitch my tent here. There's no good reason to continue, and there's a lot of reasons to stop. I'm very hot, and yeah, frankly, I just do not need to. I'm not gonna do it, so stop for the night. I'm gonna go for a swim. And then, yeah, have a snack, set up tent. I don't really care. I'm going swimming first. Oh, that feels so good. I'm so beat. But this is an absolutely stunning place to stop. I see some mountains with, I think, glaciers, could be snow, who knows. Some mountains over there. I kind of think those are going to be the mountains to the shore of Revelstoke Lake. But I don't really know until I get there, but oh my God. What a day, what a couple days. Unbelievable. I just want to say how much I enjoy getting to camp early. I went swimming for good at half an hour. I cleaned my clothes. It's now drying on my little table. Camp is totally set up, so I'll show you what I got going. Down here on my canoe, which is already emptied and turned over for the night. That's my solar panel. Charging up the batteries for tomorrow. So didn't get to do that yesterday because I came in late. Again, I got a friggin' table out here. Didn't do that yesterday. Everything's all set up here at the tent. Tent looks good. Bit of a breeze just kicked up. I think it might feel nice throughout the night. I got my blanket set up so I could do my full yoga. Trying to stretch every night out here to make the canoeing a little easier. And then way up the hill here, way up the hill. Up the hill. We're still going. We got the gravity filter. Filling up this bottle. Filling up all my bottles. I like to use the bottle in the filter bottle during the day. But then in the evening, it's a lot easier to have these than I have food to cook with. And then also just like, I'm gonna mix up a beverage. I got some BCAAs. So I'm gonna mix up a little recovery beverage. So it's just nice to have the gravity filter too. Now weight's not that big of a deal while you're canoeing. So there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that's these cables. You can see down here in this fire pit, shitty place for a fire. So yeah, cables there. Now we go down to the water. And we got more cables there. And then we go to the other side. And we go to the other side over here. And we got cables. Down here and up there, and you're not really gonna be able to see because of the GoPro, but over there is I guess a ramp just like this or similar for receiving it. So at one point in time, and I guess maybe they just move them whenever, but or maybe they're done with the job. But yeah, there was once a cable ferry here going across there to log all them hills. pretty cool. But I'm going for another swim. Hoo-wee. Ready Wise chili mac for dinner. It's pretty good. It's a spot on a hard day like this. Probably chase it out with some candy. When there's not much to do. Stretch. The sun's going down. Take it all in. Just enjoy the spot. Just absolute mint spot for the night. Pretty happy right now. 10 out of 10. Well, good morning. It is day 3 and my tent, the fly's off, getting a little bit drier. Food barrel's out, getting organized. Clothes, sleeping bags just about to get packed up. So the rest of my gear, some of my gear's over there. I'm just at that organization phase, getting everything ready for the day. And I wanted to show you what I have for food during the day. Basically, this is all my stuff that I put in that bag. And then that's what I eat for breakfast and lunch and snacks all throughout the day. There's a couple fruit bars, Hornby Island bar, Flora bar, Cliff bar, Reefs Puffs, Nature Valley, home style. But I'm actually gonna start today with a bagel and some goober, just so everything doesn't come out of a package. And then that stuff can be eaten or not, doesn't really matter. And then I also have, I packed for 10 days on this trip, just in case. But I have this Peak Refuel breakfast. I bought 3 of them. So I figured every other day or so, I would have a proper breakfast from a bag. So anyways, I think when I get to the lake, I think I'm gonna stop, have a quick celebration by making a nice Peak Refuel breakfast. That's sort of the plan for the day. So I'm gonna pack up, probably take me 20 minutes, half hour. And then I'm just gonna get in the boat, motor on. I think I burnt my face a little bit yesterday. So I think I might be a little smarter with the sunscreen today. Just a little smarter. As in I'll start with my face. And then everything else I'm just keeping covered. That's probably a better plan. This plan I went with yesterday, except for my face. So sunscreen on the face. Pack up, get going, and we'll be in the lake proper probably 2 hours. That's my guess. Don't hold me to it. I did say for hell or high water I would be at the lake yesterday, which was totally incorrect. So with that being said, I'm just gonna pack up and get the heck out of here.
As I head out from what I've dubbed Cable Ferry Camp, I encounter a ton of floating driftwood. This lake has had a ton of driftwood, but this morning, it's extra heavy. Same with the boat traffic.
Got a little boat chugging up here. Looks kind of like a houseboat, but it's probably some sort of work boat that you can probably live on. Who knows? But it's a boat.
So today's big goal is to get out onto Revelstoke Lake proper. I divided this trip into 2 parts in my head. Part 1, from Micah Creek to the Downey Arm. At this point, what I call Revelstoke Lake proper, there's a noticeable widening of the lake, signaling a clear end to the river section I'm currently on. I'm aware that this is not really a river section. This whole trip is on Revelstoke Lake. But historically, this is where David Thompson's famous Dalles de Mort was. Dalles de Mort meaning Death Rapids in English. So that's why I call this the river section.
Okay, major update time. I am getting somewhere. So I just kind of came around the corner. I think I got through what's the Death Rapids section. There were no rapids. Can confirm. And then came down here, and there's some big mountains behind me in the distance, slightly obscured by smoke and obviously just distance. But I believe those are going to be the back wall of Revelstoke Lake. And coming up in front of me, fairly far out in the distance, there's some power wires that come across the lake. And those are in the map book as well. And that's right at the Downey Arm. So I think the arm's going to go up there. I'm going to pop out through there. So that's the plan of attack, is to get to the Revelstoke Lake proper. But I'm getting close. I can smell it now. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. I just passed under the power lines. We are very close to this point here, some sort of building settlement. I'm not really sure, but I think I'm gonna stop there for a celebration. And then, yeah, we're pretty much on the lake. What a good day. I do not know what I'm passing. If this is like a res, some sort of trailer park. They look like mobile homes, not really sure. This is the Downey Point. This is Revelstoke Lake. And that is where I've come. It's time for a celebration. So I've got myself over here taking a break. I got my water boiling and my breakfast skillet, my peak refuel. I got an insane view. Revelstoke Lake, those mountains behind me. What a beautiful place. I'll probably take my breakfast to go, but I gotta cook it first and then we'll think about going. Unreal spot. This whole place, just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
And on that note, I'm going to leave you hanging. You're going to have to come back next week for part 2. If you're still watching, please like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Sarge Inc. As for this adventure, it's just getting started. Now that we've entered the Downey Arm on Revelstoke Lake proper, things are only going to get bigger, better, and more adventurous from here. I, for one, can't wait.